listening to Frey. Starting right now. Here's your host, Alfredo Leon.
Thank you, Ellen. This is indeed Frey, as we're live from Plaza Hotel in New York City, just outside of Central Park, as we're right near the window. As you can hear, and it's raining outside. It's a rainy day today outside in New York City right now. As we got news talk about the NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series that happened over the weekend, as they held their second and final road course race of the season on Sunday at the Isle of New York, 355 at Watkins Glen International in Watkins Glen, New York. Martin Truex Jr. won the race and held off Matt Kenseth to win a few mileage race. Here is Truex and his girlfriend Sherry Pollock being interviewed by Chris DeVoto, courtesy of an NBCSN, in an emotional interview. Here it is.
Race back. It's pretty cool. We've had a rough couple weeks, so it's pretty awesome. Question, the emotion is there. Yep. Let's go ahead, Martin. This is one you've been waiting for. Your family. You talked about Cole and the friendships, the tough week that you guys have had. How do you even put this one into words?
I'm a little bit lost for words at the moment, just because I've been thinking about this one a long time, all weekend, all day, and then at the end there, just. Man, it's so hard to let guys pass you for the lead, and you just got to listen to your crew chief. And luckily for me, I've got the best one in the business, and I just believe in him so much, and what he tells me, I just do what he says, and it always seems to work out. So just got to thank him, and it's been a tough week, as I said, for him, thinking about his buddy's parents there and family, and just got to say thanks to Barney and Furniture Road, Denver Mattress, and everybody back in Denver, all the guys at shop, and TRD, and everybody in Costa Mesa for incredible engines, and obviously the fuel mileage is pretty good too. But Best Pro Tracker, Auto Owners 5-Hour, Wix, Garmin, Beechcraft, Cessna, everybody that helps us. This is a dream come true team. This is I guess it's our time, but just can't say enough about all these guys and what they allowed me to do. It's having the time of my life. That's all I can say.
Time of your life. You said as a little boy your dad would bring you here. You'd watch him race. Would that little boy be pretty surprised at what you guys have been able to do this year?
Yeah, that little boy would be pretty shocked. He was a little quieter than I am even, and just walked around the garage just dreaming one day of racing at places like this, and watched my heroes, going around here, and some of my heroes were, Busch North cars, for me back then. That was a big deal. So we've been coming here a long time, us Truexes, and we finally got us one.
Sherry, I know when you're down there, you're documenting with your camera, kind of taking all the moments in. What are you thinking, too, knowing how badly he's wanted one here?
Yeah, he's wanted to win here for a long time, and he's come some close. I struggle between missing the moment and getting it on camera, I always tell him to live in the moment, put our phones down, but it's hard to miss that moment and not get it on camera. So I'm so happy that I was here. It's my first weekend back, and it was a great present. It was awesome.
Pretty cool to hear that, as it was a pretty emotional interview there, as Sherry was in the hospital recently. So good to see that she's back at the track and stuff like that. So that's good to hear there. As a pretty cool interview there as well. To see what Truex was able to finally win at the Glen after not being able to win there previously, and now he was able to get the win there, which is pretty cool to hear as well. Brad Keselowski had a huge lead, but had to pit with 3 laps to go in order to avoid running out of fuel. He eventually had a penalty for running more than 3 pit stalls on pit road and finished 15th. Ryan Blaney was then able to take the lead, but ran out and had to pit before taking the white flag. If not, the caution would have came out. Because of that, he would not have been able to finish the race. It would have been overtime probably. And, well, it would have been overtime because he would have cost before he took the white flag. So it would have been a lot of issues there. It would have been a caution. The race would have been over and stuff like that. And he would have finished probably worse than what he ended up finishing. Despite being behind 3 seconds after letting Keselowski and Blaney go in the first place in order to save fuel for several laps, which was a good strategy there, as it wound up paying off in the end. Truex was able to regain his number 78 Toyota, the lead. And despite he got loose and locked the brakes on the last lap, Kenseth was challenging for the win. And he was able to take his 4th win of the season and his first at the Glen, as Kenseth is still winless on the year and has not yet locked himself a place in the playoffs. So we'll see what happens if he could get a win in the final 4 races prior to getting into the playoffs there as well. Here's the rest of the top 10. As Daniel Suarez of Joke's Racing in a 19 car finished 3rd. His teammate Danny Hamlin in the 11 car finished 4th. Quinn Boyer in the 14 car finished 5th. Kurt Busch in the 41 car finished 6th, his teammate for Stewart-Haas Racing. Kyle Busch, his brother, finished 7th for Joe Gibbs Racing, the 18 car. Kurt Busch in the 41. Ryan Blaney, who we spoke about earlier, he ran out of fuel. He wound up finishing 8th. So he had a good run there despite running out of fuel. Had he not gone to pit road, he would have done worse than what he ended up finishing. So still a good day for Blaney despite not finishing with the win. He still was able to get a solid top 10 out of it in the 21 car for the Wood brothers. And 9th place was AJ Allmendinger in the 47 car for JT Daugherty Racing, finishing 9th in the 47 car. And Eric Jones finishing 10th in the 77 car for Furniture Row Racing. Other notable finishes include Chase Elliott in the 24 car, finishing 13th. Kevin Harvick in the 4 car for Stewart-Haas Racing, finishing 17th. Danica Patrick in the 10 car for Stewart-Haas Racing, his teammate, finishing 22nd. Jimmy Johnson in the 48 car, finishing 29th. After he had a crash when he hit into the tire barriers earlier in the race. And Dale Earnhardt Jr. finishing 37th in his final race in the Glen. At the Glen, after he crashed and he wound up finishing last. Here is Junior speaking about his run afterwards as his final race at the Glen. Here's what he spoke about afterwards.
We had a problem with the valve train and through push rod through the valve cover, so we can't fix it. But it's been a really difficult week. We've been way down on speed, and we had pretty good car Sonoma, so I was kind of looking forward to coming here. But you know, guys worked really hard. We changed this car inside and out twice this weekend, and we had made it better. We was kind of hanging in there. I think we had a shot at maybe a top 20 at best, but man, we showed up. We were about 4 seconds off, so I don't know. Been a little frustrating this weekend, and this doesn't make it much better, but sure have enjoyed racing here, and really appreciate the fans here, the track, the staff, and they've treated us so good every time we've been here, so it's been a blessing.
It's been tough on Junior this year as he has yet to win a race so far in his final year with the team, and he still has yet to win, like I said, but eventually he's going to have to figure it out if he wants to get into the playoffs, as there's only 4 races left. So if he's unable to get a win in the last 4 weeks prior to the playoffs, he will not be able to have a chance to win a championship in his final year, like Jeff Gordon and Tony Stewart were able to in their final years have a chance at a championship. So if Junior doesn't get a win, his chances at a championship will be over, but he could still try to get a win in the last couple races outside of the 10 afterwards to try to end his career on a high note by getting a victory and trying to win a race prior to that, as that would be a good way for him to get out and a way for him to go out and win a victory, which would be good for him, and just to have a better way to approach his final season, and he could end it on a high note, which would be good for him and his team as he's getting ready to get into the broadcast booth for NBC. The next Monster Energy Cup Series race will be the Pure Michigan 400 on Sunday, August 3rd at 3 p.m. Eastern Time at Michigan International Speedway in Brooklyn, Michigan. In other NASCAR news, Kasey Kahne will not be at Hendrick Motorsports for 2018. A replacement had not been made yet, but will be later on the 4-car lineup, which will be announced soon. This is not as surprising as some people would have thought, as Kahne had struggled a lot the last couple of years driving the 5-car for Hendrick Motorsports in the Chevrolet, and he had to prove to himself that he needed to win. At some point he won at the Brickyard 400, but that didn't make any difference as he's still without a ride, and we'll get more to that. And like I said, Kahne won the Brickyard 400 in July and has won 18 Monster Energy Cup Series races in 14 seasons, and was also the 2004 Rookie of the Year. Kahne made a statement in a team release. I'd like to thank Rick Hendrick and everyone at Hendrick Motorsports for their hard work and dedication, along with providing me a great opportunity of success over the last 6 years, Kahne said. We won 6 races together, and I'm coming off one of the biggest wins of my career at the Brickyard, which has given the 5 team a lot of momentum heading into the playoffs. We still have a lot of racing left in 2017, and finishing strong is our top priority. I look forward to what the next chapter in my career holds. Kahne's career started in 2004 when he drove for Ray Abraham at Dodge, and he won a season-best 6 races in 2006. Kahne also drove for Richard Kennedy Motorsports in the 9-car as well, and the Red Bull racing teams before joining Hendrick in 2012, and has won 6 races with them since joining Hendrick. In his first year with Hendrick, Kahne won 2 races and tied his career high with 19 top 10 finishes. He also finished a career high 4th in points that year as well. His victory at Indy ended a winless streak that dated back to 2014. Team owner Rick Hendrick made a statement about Kahne. Kasey has worked extremely hard, said Hendrick. He's a tremendous teammate and person. He has been totally dedicated to our program since day one. I've always believed that he's a special talent, and I know he will thrive in the right situation. We will do everything we can to finish the season as strong as we can. Hendrick will have a lot of young drivers next year, as 24-year-old Alex Bowman will replace the retiring Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 88 car, as well as 21-year-old Chase Elliott is in his second season driving the 24 car, after take it over for the retired legend and 4-time champion Jeff Gordon. There is no certainty on where Kahne will be next season. He joins a list of other drivers looking for jobs, as Matt Kenseth will be let go by Joe Gibbs Racing at the end of the year, and Kurt Busch's option was not picked up by Stewart-Haas Racing, as all 3 of these guys will be looking for jobs next year. I sort of was not surprised because Kasey Kahne struggled, like I said, driving the 5 car, so he needed to pick up his performance at some point, and he needed to win in order to be able to get a ride driving for Hendrick Motorsports next year. It just wound up not working out, as he is looking for a ride next year. My guess on who may replace Kahne in the 5 car could be William Byron or Matt Kenseth or even Kurt Busch. But it probably will be William Byron, even though Rick Hendrick stated that he's going to be there in another year. Eventually he's going to get in the Cup ride, so probably it could be William Byron. My guess it will be him, because he's got the upside and everything like that to be able to get behind the wheel of the car. Of the 5 car. Not sure if it'll be the 5 car next year. Could be the 9, because William Byron's doing the 9 car throughout his career, driving in the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series. So we'll see what happens there. But as far as Kahne is concerned, we'll find out if he'll get a ride. There's an opening at Joe Gibbs Racing and at Furniture Row Racing if they are committed to a 2-car team there. But there will be an opening. Well, there won't be no opening at Joe Gibbs Racing. I'll take that back, as Alex Jones will be driving the 20 car. There could be an opening though at Furniture Row Racing, as Kahne could be driving over there. It's possible. We're not sure though exactly what's going to happen, as we'll have to wait and see about that. But with Kenseth though, we'll find out where he'll end up being too. These guys will have rides at some point, but they could be limited though as far as the number of rides. Kurt Busch though, don't know what kind of ride he'll have either, so we'll see about that. But Kahne, he'll probably have some sort of ride though, but we'll have to wait and see to see which ride it'll be. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the show, and be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and we'll see you guys in the next one. And thank you guys here at the Plaza Hotel in New York City, as here in the rainy day outside of in Manhattan, just outside of Central Park in Manhattan. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.